Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun video we're going to be doing something hopefully a little bit differently, hopefully a little bit unique. I'm going to be reviewing something I had repaired. Now, for the longest time I have been a Victorinox fan. Victorinox is the makers of the iconic Swiss Army knife. I have two here that I carry all the time depending on what the occasion calls for, and I have used these and I love these. I watched a documentary on the brand in like 2017. You know, it was on like one of those shows, or it might have been on YouTube, and I just really fell in love with the brand. I remember having one of the little keychain size Swiss Army knives. It's probably my first pocket knife ever given to me, and I remember using the little blade, the scissors, you know, stuff like that, and I always loved their versatility, and you guys know I like versatility. Now, a sad part of this story, my grandfather on my pop's side, you guys know the grandfather on my mom's side, taught me all the woodworking that I do out here in the workshop and inspired me to become a woodworker. But the grandfather on my pop's side, who I didn't really get to spend as much time as I wanted to with, unfortunately just because he lived away, passed in 2022, and upon his passing, when my pops went up there to clean his place out, he found a Swiss Army knife. Now, it was beat up, it had some rust on it, the blade was broke on it, and what I done was mold it over in my head for a while. Did I want to keep it as sentimental as he had it, or did I want to get it repaired? Now, Victorinox offers a guaranteed lifetime warranty on all of their knives, and the two I have here I've never had to send off, and I got curious about that repair process, so I joined a Reddit group for Victorinox and was just going through there seeing all the knife styles, and it blows my mind how many are out there, and I want to collect basically all of them. You guys know I like collecting things like Hot Wheels and everything, but going through there I noticed a person said it's usually like a 6-week turnaround to get them repaired, and he had sent them before and after, you know, like the blade had been chipped on his, and he sent it off and got it repaired good as new. And when I joined the Victorinox site, you know, I went to the repair form. Of course, you got to make a profile and everything, but I went to the repair service and they said, we can keep everything sentimental if you want to keep it like that. I said, basically, I want to replace the blades and give it a nice TLC, you know, lube it, maintain it, make sure it just opens again, because it was so decrepit where I had to take pliers to get it out. My grandfather on my pop side, and I'll show you on mine, had broke the little blade, and then of course the iconic main blade of the Swiss Army knives, and they were broke off at the base, and I don't know if he had used them to pry anything off. And the blades that I currently have and are in my possession is a Fieldmaster. This is my very first Swiss Army knife, and I picked it because it had the Phillips head screwdriver as opposed to the corkscrew. Of course, me putting stuff together and taking it apart and things like that and doing stuff in woodworking world, the Phillips head screwdriver was the option for me, so I chose the Fieldmaster. And then my mom surprised me for Christmas, because she knowed I loved the brand too, and got me the Swiss Champ. And this is a compact tool, and I find myself using it more and more the longer I carried it in my pocket. And these two knives, or one of the two, will always be in my pocket, my everyday carry, my EDC as some people like to call it. And the knife my grandfather had, I opened up all the tools, showcasing where the blade was broke and everything, and I told them, you know, hey, I want to get this repaired, but can I ID the model? And people told me it was a very late 70s Huntsman model. And again, I just told you guys I have the Fieldmaster and the Swiss Champ in my possession now. So I finally buckled down and I sent it off. I packed the knife up, I put a note in there, it was sentimental and what I wanted done to it, and of course I ticked all that off on the website as well. Sent the knife off, and I mailed it off August 1st. And everybody else was saying it was like a 5 or 6 week turnaround, and surprise, surprise, the other day, August 22nd, the knife arrived on my doorstep, and I went out there and I could feel in it, yes, it is the Swiss Army knife in there that I sent off that was my grandfather's. Now, before we open this, I have compiled a picture slideshow of what the knife looked like, just so you guys will see what it's like. And I want to be as genuine and actuality as possible, and we're going to open this on camera and open everything and look at it. But before we get to that point, let me show you a slideshow of what the knife looked like beforehand, and we'll come back and open it and see how the repair service did. And here we have my late grandfather's 1970s era Huntsman Swiss Army knife, and you can tell it had been used a lot by him. The scales were really beat up, and also note on the scales that it does not have the toothpick or tweezers in it that is iconic with Swiss Army knives, so I do know it's an older model.
and I'm just going to try my best to show all sides of it here, and I will pull out all of the tools, and you can tell that there is some rust there. Some of the tools were very hard to open, and you can see that the big blade is non-existent and the small blade is actually broke off at the tip. And this is what I've actually requested Victorinox to fix, so we'll see what kind of job they done when we open up the package. And I'll do some close-ups of the damaged blade here, and again just showing various angles to hopefully let you guys get an idea of what the knife looked like before I packaged it up and sent it away. And you can see there where the blade had snapped off, but it still had the genuine Swiss Army stamp mark on the tang of what was left of the big blade. And I'll do my best to get a close-up of that. I'm sorry that the quality isn't better there, but I did send that picture in as well of the logo, and they assured me that it was a late 1970s model Huntsman knife. But I packed it up and took it to the post office and mailed it off, and like I said, a couple weeks later it arrived back at my doorstep. So let's open it and see what it looks like.
Alright, I hope that slideshow helped you guys understand where I was coming from about how dirty and grimy the knife was. Again, it just arrived back on the doorstep from the Victorinox factory. And keep in mind, if you do this and go this route and have one you want fixed, there is a fee to it, and it's very cheap to get it fixed and everything. These are quality knives and they stand by their product, and that's what I love about them. And I'm actually thinking about getting some of Victorinox's kitchen knives for the kitchens, but this is how it arrived, and you can easily feel that the knife is in there. It's in like one of those padded bubble envelopes. But what I'll do is take it here and I will get it open for you guys, and we'll see how they did. I'm really excited for this, and seems to be some paper in there as well. Alright, there is the paper. And alright, I'll quickly glance over this. Alright, I know what that is. That was the information that you have to pack with it. And it seemed like something else was in here as well. Let me see. Oh, wow. Cool. Alright, so here's how it arrives. It is in bubble wrap. Now here is the actual knife itself. And it looks nice and clean and showroom quality. And I'm glad they done this. I asked them to do this just out of sentiment. They have actually kept the old pieces of the knife here, and the scales and all, and where the knife had broken everything. So really, really neat. I do appreciate that, guys. Let's actually open the actual knife itself and see how that looks. Wow. Wow. This is amazing. And they put new scales on it. The old scales were the very old school scales, to where it did not have a toothpick or tweezer holder, and they have repaired that. So really, really amazing. Let's see the blades. Wow, and they are sharp. Really cool. And the small blade that was broken as well. There you go. And again, it just has the basic tools, and I can tell this is the same knife because of some of the dings on some of the other tools, showing their wear and tear and everything. Like the can opener here has a little ding in it. Again, I just reached out to them to replace the blades, and where it could be proudly displayed to honor my grandfather's memory on my pop's side. He was a decorated veteran. He served in Korea and Vietnam, and I believe Desert Storm as well. He was a mechanic on an aircraft carrier for the Air Force. But really, really neat. This looks showroom quality, and it's the same size and dimensions as my Fieldmaster here. So just keep that in mind. This is amazing. I trust the quality of everything. And let me just get a piece of paper here, and we will do the paper test with this. So here we go. Wow. Very, very sharp. We'll try to do two pieces at one time. Wow. Quality, quality. I love the Victorinox, and I love the whole family of knives that they offer. And you can tell it's a genuine Swiss Army knife when it does the popping sound when it closes. So now I have 3 to carry. I don't know if I will be carrying this knife with me on a day-to-day just because of the sentimentalness and because I sent it to repair. Again, I've done it to have that memory and tie in with my grandfather on my pop's side and everything. But this is really neat and I'm really happy with it. And of course, I always choose the red scales just because that is the iconic color of a Swiss Army knife. So now we have the Fieldmaster, we have the Swiss Champ, and a 70s era Huntsman knife. Really, really cool. I'm very happy with that. And I will put all of the parts from the old scales up, and I will keep these safe as well. And you can see there the small blade where it was broken, and I guess there wasn't enough left of the bigger blade for them to send back to me, but it is what it is. I would highly recommend doing this again, and I would quickly do it again if something happened to one of the knives I have shown you today. I hope it's okay to post content like this over here on this platform with it being a knife or something like that. I know how that could be interpreted, and that's not my mention. This was all about having a memory with a grandfather that I didn't really get to have a lot of time with. I had a lot of time with him in early childhood. They would come down or we would go up there, and I didn't have that later on in life, and I do regret that. And it's just time that you spend time with family that you should really treasure, and this is going to be a treasured memory for the rest of my life, and I will keep this safe. Not all treasure is silver and gold, everyone, but really, really cool. I had a lot of fun in this video, and I hope you guys maybe have learned something about Swiss Army knives. I know I'll watch a lot of reviews on them and how people will modify them and everything. And again, I told you guys I'm on the Victorinox Reddit group, and I will post and comment there, and I'll be sure to post this repair process over on that platform as well. But that's about all for this one. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and also follow me across all my social medias under the Artisan Pirate name. As always, links to contact me as well as all my social medias will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one. And remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.